You can just turn on your radio and you'll be bound to hear about some fancy truck driver and how he's scratching gears. But I'd like to tell you about a guy that works hard from day to day. He's a cat-skinning jibbo logger and he's just trying to make it pay. He gets up in the morning before the sun begins to burn. Build him a half a mile of road to get one lousy turn. The way this guy has to work is a shame and disgrace. On every turn a vine maple limb slaps him across the face. I just wouldn't be a cat skinner for anybody's pay. Must be a lot of better jobs to finish out my days. I've worked in these woods a long, long time and still I'll have to say, just wouldn't be a cat skinner for anybody's pay. I worked with this guy named Thistle and he could make one buck and jump. Head out after a turn of logs and wind up straddle a stump. The whole crew'd work for hours just to get him on his way. The language we'd be using there I'm not allowed to say. I just wouldn't be a cat skinner for anybody's pay. Must be a lot of better jobs to finish out my days. I've worked in these woods a long, long time and still I'll have to say, I just wouldn't be a cat skinner for anybody's pay.
Right here you see on page 23, we gotta close you down.
I'm just a poor old jibbo logger trying to make ends meet. Got equipment I gotta pay for and a family that's gotta eat. But these guys from the Forest Service, every time they come around, all they do is look for something wrong so they can close me down. These pink-cheeked boys from the Middle East, it's the first time they've seen a tree. Yet they know more about logging than an old timber beast like me. They've gone to college and they've learned how to tie ribbons all around and look up in their rule book for a way to close you down. We gotta close you down, fire danger all around. Right here you see on page 23, we gotta close you down. Right here you see on page 23, we gotta close you down. Somehow I made it through the winter months, fighting mud and sleet and snow. Now good weather's finally here and I ought to make some dough. But the Forest Service is checking me now and you ought to see them frown. I bet they already found a dozen ways they can close me down. When them boys live their lifespans out and they meet their judgment day, if they make it on up to heaven, well, I guess they'll be okay. But if they go the other direction, they'll take one look around and say, Satan, look at the fire danger. We gotta close you down. We gotta close you down. Fire danger all around. Right here you see on page 23, we gotta close you down. Right here you see on page 23, we gotta close you down. The scenic back roads running through our forest were built by loggers' sweat and blood and tears. Hard rock didn't scare them. They could bore right through a mountain. It's a road inspector every logger fears. Let's drink a toast to all the road inspectors. Let's raise our glasses high and wish them health. They hold the future of each logger in the palm of their hand. The difference between bankruptcy and wealth. Just when a logger thinks his road is finished, a road inspector comes up on the scene. digging test holes in the gravel, measuring every turnout, snarling, snapping, growling, being mean. The logger'd like to grab his neck and choke him, but he keeps his cool and knows he'd better smile. If he'd do just what he'd like to do and poke him, he'd rebuild that whole darn road every mile. Let's drink a toast to all the road inspectors. Let's raise our glasses high and wish 'em health. They hold the future of each logger in the palm of their hand. The difference between bankruptcy and wealth. We're hoot-owling again, hoot-owling again. There ain't no rain in sight. We get off work in the middle of the day and leave in the middle of the night. We stop at the tavern and drink up some beer and sit around and gripe and complain. You just give an old logger a little good weather, you got him hoot-owling again. Well, the poor old logger's overworked, underfed, and absolutely misunderstood. After wallering around in the mud all winter, a little sunshine looks good. But the woods gets dry and the temperature high and the humidity gets low. And that old east wind blows up through the draw. There's one thing for certain we know. We'll be hoot-owling again, hoot-owling again. There ain't no rain in sight. We'll get off of work in the middle of the day and leave in the middle of the night. We'll stop at the tavern and drink up some beer and sit around and gripe and complain. You just give an old logger a little good weather, you got him hoot-owling again. Old Smokey the Bear, he's around everywhere with his shovel and his ranger hat. Now I'm not knocking no fire prevention, I wouldn't want you thinking that. But Smokey don't have to do no hoot-owling, he's got no worries or cares. And I don't think bears prevent forest fires, but forest fire do prevent bears. And we're hoot-owling again, hoot-owling again, there ain't no rain in sight. We'll get off of work in the middle of the day and leave in the middle of the night. We'll stop at the tavern and drink up some beer and sit around and gripe and complain. You just give an old logger a little good weather, you got him hoot-owling again.